Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's Kickoff Labs live marketing chats. My name is Izzy Palmerin. I work here in marketing at kickofflabs.com. Joining me is our co-founder, Josh Ledgard, who is currently in the chat saying hi to everybody and reminding people to post your page for review, because this week we're going to be doing live landing page reviews. It's been a couple of weeks since our last reviews, and we know that there's several customers that would, just basically like to make sure that their campaign is 100% optimized and ready to launch, ready to start promoting, and that's really what these landing page reviews are for. So I am going to make sure that everybody in the chat is actively watching this video. So let's go ahead and tell everybody to please press play. And we're live. Alrighty. So just to make sure that everybody can hear and see me, can somebody in the chat just please just put a simple yes, and that would let us know that you can properly hear us. Well, actually hear me currently. Right now, Josh is behind the scenes. He'll speak up any minute now. And just to make sure that you can see my screen before we actually jump into the page reviews. Guest 7516 and Daphne have said yes. Mackenzie, everybody says yes. So awesome. Ryan, yes. Alrighty. So looks like we have tons of pages to jump into to start reviewing. And let's go ahead and just start jumping into the first one. We're pretty sure that there'll be additional people that jump into this event probably within the next 5-10 minutes. So we'll go ahead and remind people, constantly that if you did leave your, if you do want a landing page review, please leave that within the chat.
And this is Josh. I'll also say that we love having people in the chat, and so we love to hear your feedback on the pages. You're getting our 2 cents, and we've seen thousands and thousands of pages, but it's always great to get for the people presenting their pages. They were brave. They put their pages up publicly and said, we want you to look at it. And so if you have any feedback for other people, post it in the chat. And I love seeing the comments that people post in the chat about each other's pages. That's why we do this as something that's live and interactive, and that's why we prefer people post the pages that attend.
Most definitely. Thanks for that, Josh. And actually, that's a great piece of feedback. Now that we're kind of all here, we could kind of collectively test each other's pages, because there might be things that Josh and I miss. I mean, there's a lot of things that we might miss because we're really on a limited time. So so let's go ahead and just jump in. If you see me reviewing a page, jump into that link. You might want to test the sign up as well, and leave your comments and feedback within the chat. That would be really awesome for everybody, so we can all help each other and learn from each other's critiques and landing page reviews. So having said that, let's go ahead and jump into the first page that was submitted to us. It was submitted to us by, I forgot who it was. Oh, by guest 5815. So thanks for submitting your page. And we're looking at Spear.io, which this doesn't necessarily look like a landing page to me. Jumping into this page, it immediately looks like a product comparison site, but it just, for some reason, it just feels incomplete. Like the first section and the first row and the first immediate thing that I see is just a whole bunch of distracting numbers, just all this, all these mobile phones, all this data, all this, pricing data and the average price, the ranks, there's a lot of stuff going on here, but there's not really a singular goal on the page. So that's really what, that's how I really treat just about any kind of landing page, homepage, even a blog post. What's the singular goal of getting your visitor to that page? So here it looks like you're kind of just, obviously you want people to start interacting with the site and start engaging, looking through the comparison. But how are you going to do that? How are you going to actually onboard your user to take those actions? And as I mentioned, this doesn't necessarily look like a landing page. A landing page generally is considered a page where you're either clicking through, you're offering a value proposition where people could click through to purchase a product, or more often than not, actually, it's a page that has an email capture form. And right now, there's no email capture form on this page. There's really limited direction. There's no headline up here. as I mentioned, there just seems to be a lot of stuff missing from this page. It just really looks fairly incomplete. I mean, obviously you want to be testing your idea. Don't build a whole full-blown app, because that's going to just waste your time. What I would do is kind of like focus a little bit more on just guiding people along what you really want them to do and onboarding them as a user, so that they eventually, yes, like they use this sign up and login button, because it looks like you could create an account. So if you can, that means that you could collect their email address. And what that means is that you should be doing email marketing. So focus on getting that email address. This call to action of getting like the sign up and like login, it just seems buried too. So there's no real call to action on the page. I would really recommend placing this as a second level page, where this isn't like a home page. This would really be like the /compare, or or if you're pairing it with new technology, just a different type of URL where the homepage is separate, it's more educational, it's more value, with your value proposition up front, everything is just clear, and you're telling people what you want them to do.
Yeah, there's clearly, yeah. I agree with Izzy. I mean, there's clearly just a lack of what on this page. Like I get here and I see a bunch of phones and it feels like a shopping site, but I don't know what you specialize in and why I should buy from you or why I should start searching. So there's a lack of a clear description of what. So even if you do want this to be the page that people land on, I would focus on explaining why they should browse and what they should do to search on the page. I think you probably want to go with an engagement model where you're asking them to search for something and then convince them that your search or your technology is so much better. And after they've walked through that, to take a next step to sign up, to capture their email, or to have you email them better results when they come out, like some reason to incentivize them to capture the email. But that's a big thing. And like as he said, like all of this stuff up here feels just kind of buried, when like maybe you should have a dialogue that comes when they first come up that says, one big welcome message, like just says welcome. And then it has a search box right here, like search for the product that you want, or an email entry box, like just something that provides some description so that they can then understand what they would do on this page. So I think that's the biggest problem on this page that I see, even if it's not a traditional email sign-up page. Do you have anything else, Izzy?
No, that was pretty much it. So yeah, I mean, just that's some great feedback, and we could go ahead and move on to the next page. I know Josh has it open already.
Yeah, I'm already sharing. I've got Cannabis Connect. So it's very, very kind of barren on the top. It feels like this logo is kind of a tiny. It's great that you have a logo. I almost wish that the name was up here. Like if you had a logo that had the full name, like I sort of wish that just went on and kind of took up the header here, because that would leave then more room for what I'm going to say about this section here, which is that I feel like you've sort of explained a what here. The Etsy of cannabis, I should underline that. But it's really missing a why somebody should sign up. And in fact, you've got one of the classic things that people do here that makes people not want to sign up, which is that you're saying is in development. And I would take that out and replace it with another statement. Like if you had the name up here, like if this was up here, like Cannabis Connect with the logo, and then you had a title here, if this was the title that said the Etsy of cannabis, then you've got room here for a why you should sign up, right? Sign up for deals, sign up to be first, like sign up for something. Because saying is in development, right there, I read that and I could ignore this because why would I? There's nothing for me to do and there's no reason for me to do it. So why would I sign up at this point? And so I think you're really missing the why I would sign up at this point. That's not encouraging people to really go after it and really understand what you're doing. So let's just read a little bit further down the page. Create your profile, so connect with friends, pick your favorite dispensaries, get customized. I don't know if this headline, like read the headline, this headline doesn't really match with this. Like, is this really about creating your profile, or is this about with like shop with friends or something, or like get recommendations, right? This might not match this statement. So use the market. Dispensaries post flower, edibles, so your friends will share that's what's available in your area. Be more direct. See what's available. Like instead of use the market, I don't know what that means, but be a little bit more direct and clear with people. Make an order, that's pretty direct, like choose a service and deliver and choose a service to deliver your order, gain status and tipping. So this is direct right here, but I think this could be more direct, this headline, and I also think this headline could be more direct about what you're after. There's some quotes, there's some statements about company values, but let's go ahead and sign up now and see what happens when I sign up on this page. All right, so I'm on a wait list. And you're saying I'll get early access if I get 3 people signed up. I would, again, this is where I wish I had the name just to repeat, like Cannabis Connect. The brand may be enough for you, but for people that may leave the browser page and come back to it later, like having the name. And so having the name, cannabis, and just going on in this area, like centered would probably work better for you. And then great, you're on the list. Like I wish there was an incentive. Like, great, you'll get 10% off your first order or something like that that matched an incentive that you put on the first page. So I would put an incentive here, like that just confirms they would get that incentive. And then you pretty clearly say refer 3 friends to get an early invite. But what do I get for an early invite? Like, what's the value of that besides just trying it first? And I would try to explain that to people. Like, for some services, it could be exclusive deals or exclusive offers, like because you're with us early. So think about what people get out of the early invite that would make it worth their while to share. Because A, people have to think what you're offering is cool to share, and then B, they have to be incentivized to share. And so just saying get an early invite doesn't necessarily offer me incentive. Saying get an early invite and access to exclusive deals, that's incentive, right? That's a financial incentive that you can leverage on this page that I think would be really valuable for the customers that you have. And I think that would be so. That's my feedback. As you can see, it's using Kickoff Labs, so the share links are already here. We've got the customized share links. When somebody does share this page, we're able to track the referrals for this campaign. And this is something that anybody can do with their landing pages or their email sign-up forms with Kickoff Labs to make it exceedingly easy for people to take to the next level. So that's all the feedback I have. Izzy, did you have anything on the Cannabis Connect page?
I mean, just probably like the only feedback that I might leave is like, I'm not sure if you mentioned it because I was answering a couple questions in the chat, but is like possibly just maybe even testing out, switching out like to a different thank you page where you're like offering different type of reward levels, because it looks like you're launching like a service where people can make an order. So if it is a service, why don't you try offering like a 10% off, like a 50% off once people sign up, and they can earn those kind of referrals. I mean, I do invite everybody in the chat, just in case you haven't gone, visit to Kickoff Labs/showcase, and you can see a whole bunch of examples. And probably like the top 3 rows are probably my favorite ones. So choose between those campaigns, somewhat mimic what they're doing, improve upon that, make it your own, and you'll get some great results.
Ryan Lockwood says, not a designer, but this is about weed, maybe some green somewhere on there. And I was almost going to hint that there's something missing like in this area where it's gray. And maybe some greenery in the background image or picture of a dispensary, or just something in the background that's, again, like I feel like you're skirting around a lot of the topics here instead of being more direct. And I don't feel like you should be skirting around. Like, it's already, the business is called Cannabis Connect. Be really direct about what the business is and be really obvious about it.
He says that actually that he's attempting to steer clear of stereotypes.
Yeah, I understand the desire to do that. I think you can still be a little bit more direct and clean and with people, but you don't have to be a more traditional sort of a more traditional stereotype of everything there. All right. So Izzy, do you want to go on to the next page?
Sure. So we're moving on to Skyline. So this page is currently still published to our free Kickoff Pages domain, which is no problem. I think they did mention that they plan on publishing this to the final URLs. Once it's reviewed, once they think that it's ready to be published. but I think it already looks pretty darn good. So looking at the page, it says, "Where's your skyline?" Alrighty, and like it's pretty easy to kind of deduce. I, I don't know. Like I just might add a little bit more text to the highlight, like to the actual headline. But I like how the fact that there's kind of like this kind of connect between the "Where's your skyline?" You kind of roughly see the skyline here, but there's still a little bit of information that's missing from this page, specifically from like, from the possibly even the headline, but just extending a bit the headline with a bit more information, extending also the sub headline with a little bit more information as well. Because right now I'm just saying functional and handsome, specific to you, use daily, and it could be the knives, which a lot of people use, or it can be the product, which I think we've seen this page before, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe the product is like this cut wood block behind here. So be a little bit more specific in that. Don't be so mysterious with this. Don't be so vague. Don't make people.
It's one of my rules. Like Izzy's saying, is just don't. You can't assume the picture is going to do the job for the text and vice versa. So they have to be complementary. And right now the text is not complementary. I think the text needs to say something, a beautiful wood carved skyline to hang your knives, or like a skyline for your city's skyline, used to hang your knives. Like it actually just needs to be really clear what it is that you're offering here, because you can't assume that everybody, like Izzy said, like you could be selling the knives. Like if I just look at the picture and the page and the text description, like it could be the knives. I don't think you are, but it could be. Sorry, Izzy, I'll let you keep going.
No, go ahead. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, you have to make sure that it's extremely clear. So that goes for the headline, which is your section over here, your sub headline, and your call to action, which is actually tied to the form and to the form button itself. So make sure that there's like this continuation that goes. All right, so you're telling people what it is. You're telling people why they should get it. What's unique and what are the benefits, and you're telling people what comes with signing up right now. Okay, so right now it's like, join us to see the entire Skyline collection. Okay, that's cool. Like most people want to see the other products that you manage, and the other incentive is be the first to own a Skyline hang. And at this point, I still don't know what a Skyline hang is. I don't know why I'm gonna want to be the first to own one. Like, what are the benefits? Are they handmade? Are they exclusive? Like, are you launching like the first 3 cities? Like one of the first 50? Be a lot more specific. Tell people specifically what they're getting, literally what they're getting, and you'll get a lot better results. And if I read below here, share to win your own Skyline hang and a bundle of sleek products to hang. Okay, cool. So I mean, so you kind of are teasing the fact that it's this like Skyline hang and the products. I would imagine that they're knives, but I don't know, like for some reason I feel that there's this kind of like disconnect between these two sections, and for some reason I don't think that that most people are going to get this far down. Like if they already read all this and it's like, okay, I don't get it, and if you're already asking them to see your Skyline by clicking this call to action, they're not going to see what the real incentive to sign up for, which is to to win product and other bundled products. So yeah, just make sure that it's extremely clear. And this call to action, like I'm not 100% excited by it. I know that you guys know, like you 100% know what a Skyline is. You guys manage the product, you guys make the product, but general visitors do not have any idea. So you have to be sure to like make sure that that within the call to action, you're telling them exactly what the action they're going to be taking. Maybe like it is to see the entire collection, but really they're entering to win. Like enter to win a free Skyline, or just simply enter to win. So that might perform better too. Josh, any additional feedback on this page? I'll go ahead and sign up.
No, go ahead and sign up.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Let's see what happens. This is a Kickoff Labs page. Alrighty, so I get pushed onto the thank you page, which is published to Latitude Woodwares /thanks. And okay, and this kind of throws me off initially because the previous page had no mention of like Latitude Woodwares. The page, like the page styles even look different. Like The font color just looks a little bit different. There just seems to be not the same kind of consistency going from one page to the next, and that's really important. You have to maintain that same consistency. Like think of it as just a single page where, well, not as a single page. Josh has a really good explanation where he like mentions that it's kind of like a proxy of your entire campaign. So
yeah, I mean, just think about it like every page is a separate step in an assembly line, and you have to assume that page has to do its job and be able to stand almost completely on its own. And right now, it feels like, it feels like if you're missing the brand on the first page and then you introduce this brand on the second page, it feels confusing to people. And what you don't want to do is give people reason to mistrust you and doubt what you're offering or what you're doing. And so anything like that where things change from one to the other can cause that doubt. Guest is saying that's the old page. I haven't changed the link yet. Okay. If you want to post to the new page, I'm happy to look at the new page too a little bit later on. Sure. But I think for anybody doing this, we see these kind of things in campaigns all the time. It's still valid advice from looking at the page.
Yeah, because this page really is different, like the background image and everything. So, alrighty, so we'll go ahead and wait for them to share the updated page. And in the meantime, Josh can move on to, I believe it's spared.us.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and
actually, I think they finished. Well, actually, we'll take a look right after this one.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and look at spared.us first. Lots of good domains in today's
There are, right?
Like spared.us, like spear.io, like these are some quality domain names that people have. So congratulations on that. And so obviously I was so I left the page, I was getting this exit intent. And so before I dismiss it so I can look at the page, I'll just talk about the exit intent. So this is something, this dialogue here is built into Kickoff Labs. And it's something that we made really easy to put on a page, and it's sort of your second chance to give people to get people to sign up. And so this says, "Don't miss out. Spared can save you thousands of interest in years under debt." This is get early access. It says, "Don't keep us a secret. Get early access by letting your friends know about Spared and get up to $1,000 off your student debt." I sort of wish this, or talked about the student debt in the context, was above the call to action, because this is a really great incentive, like getting up to $1,000 off your student debt. And this dances around the issue, like Spared can save you thousands of interest in years. And I wish this was just the more direct statement that you have here was up in this place and the font a little bit larger in this section. That's my feedback on the exit intent dialog. Otherwise, it's fairly clear, and I would tie that off, like, I'd connect that to the button saying, like, sign up and let my friends know, or get thousands off, save on my student debt. Like, you can make the call to action specific to your business, and not enough people do that in this case. So let's go and close this out and take a look at the page. So Spared, love your change. Use your Spared change to pay off your student debt. Hashtag get Spared. And then there's a link. Well, it looked like there's a link, but there's not. It says coming soon available in the App Store. So at this point, right here on this landing page, I hadn't seen the sign up form. I don't know if there's a call to action. I try and click on this and nothing happens. And to me, it feels like there's nothing to do on this page. So assume that people might not scroll, and you don't know exactly what they don't know exactly what to do and what you want them to do on the page. There's not a really clear call to action. So I wish there was a call to action instead of this, which is unusable to people at the moment. I wish there was a sign up box here in place. Let's scroll down the page and see what the call to action is. Yep, and there is a sign up box, right? But it's down here. I would swap the locations of this. Like this statement, sign up to get $1,000 off your student debt. Super crystal clear, needs to be up here above this box here. This, where it says coming soon to the App Store, it's obvious it's an app for the picture. You need to make that statement down here. So swap the location of those two. The picture makes it clear that it's going to be an app. You don't need this to also make that clear. And that statement can be secondary information down here. So that's my feedback. You've got a great incentive. But if you just look at this page, it's going to feel like there's nothing for me to do on this page. And so that's why I would make that change. Let me sign up and see what happens. Okay, and so this is a nice page. It says, Spared, thank you. We've added you to our email sign-up queue. Invite your friends to get $1,000 off your student debt. I'm a little confused about the promotion, right? Because you do want to be clear with people. Sign up to get $1,000 off your student debt, right? And then the next page is, well, not quite. Invite your friends to get $1,000 off your student debt. Did I get $1,000 off and now I'm getting another $1,000 off? I'm all about incentives and incentivizing people and having a reason to sign up for the call to action. But I would just be really clear, like, maybe what you want to do is say, like, sign up and you can get $100 off your student debt. Refer 10 friends, you get $1,000. Or you can change, like, sign up for a chance at $1,000 off your student debt. Like, sign up for a chance at $1,000 off. Just to be really honest with people, I would much prefer being as direct and honest with people about the product and the promotion. So we talked about being honest about the product and direct about that. And this is being honest about the promotion, or at least not misleading. And I don't think you're being intentionally misleading, but I think it has the potential to be misleading to people that don't know the context of walking through the campaign. There is a clear incentive for sharing. Invite your friends to get $1,000 off your student debt. This is really cleanly done, this page. Get Spared, share your personal code and links with your friend. Also, our top 10 referrals have $1,000 applied directly to your student loans. Check out the prize structure here. So there's a link to the prize structure, and it looks like goes to Instagram. Okay, I'm not sure what. I'm not sure what this is. Like, check out the prize structure here. I wish the prizes were just described or linked to a page that had the prize structure. Maybe that's just a temporary placeholder, but just think about that if it's not a temporary placeholder.
Just really quick, Josh. I mean, I might even call out the top 10 referrers will get, like the $1,000, because otherwise it just kind of confuses with the leaderboard there. Like, people might be searching why is there a leaderboard there?
Yeah. So if this said current $1,000 winners or something, like, instead of current leaders, that would be really clear. And so that could be a little clearer there. Let's see. So other things about this page, let's just click on the share link really quick and see what happens if I click share here. Okay, it looks like you're missing an image on the Facebook sharing image. So I would make sure you set up a Facebook sharing image on the sign up page. Posts with images are going to get seen a lot more. I would say in this headline, like, I got spared today, just make it a little bit more personal to the person posting it. The text is fine, maybe a little bit long for a Facebook post in the description, but I would mostly focus on getting that hero image that went with the share on Facebook. And so let's see, leave this and let's see what happens if I go to Twitter. Pay off your student loans with spare change. Again, you make it personal. They're tweeting it from their account, like, I want to pay off my student loans with spare change. For your chance of doing it, like, click here, like, or, I want to get $1,000 off my student loans. Like, just think about how you make that sound more personal to the person posting it to their social media account, and how that can, and what kind of impact that'll have on people signing up to do the referrals there.
My little bit of advice for, like, Twitter sharing is, I saw that they had, like, they're leveraging their own unique hashtag, which is great, but you should also leverage existing hashtags.
Absolutely.
See how that's like the Get Spared hashtag?
Yep. And the other thing,
student loans, that's probably a really good hashtag. Like, the student loan, people are probably, like, sharing that.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt also, like, if you can place it or fit it, like, saying, like, pay off your student loans with spare change with spared, and have, like, a link to your company, the actual, like, @ sign for your company's Twitter address. So you'll see the @ mentions when people mention them. You'll obviously be following probably this hashtag, but the @ mentions are really valuable, and then you can reply to them directly from the @ mentions as well from your app, and do that kind of engagement with the people during the campaign, which is really powerful. Izzy, do you want to move on to the next page?
Sure. Hey, Josh, you're on the leaderboard. You got $1,000. Alrighty, so we're looking at beta.veromoney.com. Really nice pages today. Wow, I'm really proud of our customers. You guys are doing some great work, because this does look like a Kickoff Labs page. I'm pretty sure it is.
It is.
We're looking at imagine all your financing. Josh is really proud. It is. Oh yeah, imagine all your finances in one mobile. One sec. In one mobile banking app. Okay, so it's pretty clear. Okay, I mean, it's like telling me that I can manage my finances from a single mobile banking app. That's pretty clear. There's nothing for me to have to deduce on my own. I was gonna grab my little tool, and you see that this little exit tent popped up. So we'll take a look at the exit tent in just a moment. First, I want to keep looking at the sign up page itself. Otherwise, I'll get thrown off. So looking back at the all these distractions. Sorry about that. So looking back at the subheadline, all right, sign up for exclusive early access to our beta app and email updates. So it looks like, everything is looking great, like the logo, the image, see how the person in the image is actually looking down at the headline, everything, like the headline is extremely clear. But for some reason, like, I just feel that the incentive here is somewhat lacking. Right now, like, the real incentive is just sign up for exclusive and early access to the beta app, which means that I'll get to test a buggy app for you, which I'm not so excited about. Your customers might not be so excited about. It just really depends. I mean, if this page is really converting well for you, if it's converting, I would say above like 20, 30%, more power to you, go for it. But you can most definitely improve the conversion rate by placing a different type of incentive, something that's a little bit more immediate as opposed to early access to the beta and the email updates. So, I mean, what I'll do, actually, we have a great checklist that we've been working on. So at the end of the chat, be sure to stick around, and we'll be sharing that checklist. So it's just like a single checklist that'll show you all the things that we usually go through a campaign just to make sure that it's ready to launch. One of those things being that you have a great incentive to sign up. So that goes for everybody in the chat. Be sure to stick around. We'll share that PDF checklist. So it's really simple. It's not a web page. You can print it out. You can do whatever you want with it. And yeah, so let's go ahead and dig a little bit more into the page.
One thing about the header while you're there, and somebody in the chat pointed out that the logo at the top of the page is cut off on their screen resolution. And it looks like the logo is built into this page background, and I would instead do a cleaner version of the page background. Yeah, so as Izzy showed, like, it can get cut off because we scale the image to make sure there's never dead space in the browser and depending on the device. And so I would actually put the logo above the text there, and then that way the logo will never get cut off because it'll be part of the text and it'll always be on the page. So just my 2 cents about where the logo placement. I hadn't noticed that, so it's a good catch by the guest there in the chat.
And plus, it'll actually see that's what we meant. You guys just start testing each other's pages. We'll get better results collectively. So yeah, I mean, that would most definitely be a better strategy where things are just a little bit more centered. Place the logo in line, not embedded in the actual background image, but place it as like an image content here above your actual headline. So let's go ahead and dig down a little bit more into the actual features. So it's be among the first early adopters to use our intelligent mobile banking app. Alrighty, like, once again, you're just repeating what you feel is the, I mean, I might be a little bit mean, but what you feel is the incentive to actually sign up, which isn't that great of an incentive. Be among the first, and that's what you're leading with. Like, that's your first feature. Like, you will be the first. What happened to, like, imagining all my finances in a single app? Like, I want to see more of that. That's what your customers want to see more of. Get a cool debit card. Alrighty, so this is how you're going to make money. But how am I as a customer gonna benefit from you? Receive personalized. Okay, this is what we want. So receive personalized financial insights. Here you go. So it's like an intelligent bot that I can somewhat interact with. This is super innovative. I mean, I would most definitely call this out, bring it up a little bit higher to the top.
That seems like something that should be like closer to the first section there.
Yeah, exactly. Like way, way, way towards the top. Actually, I was gonna pull it up like way, way towards up, but I mean, you catch my drift. Like, this is what is a huge benefit for your users. People can actually interact, possibly ask questions, get financial tips and insights. That's amazing. That's your main value proposition. I like that you're saying, like, imagine all your finances, but that still leaves it, this word imagine, just like it works for this, but it also leaves it up completely to my own imagination. However, this makes it completely clear. The receive personal financial insights. That's pretty cool. So I would focus a lot more on what the benefits for your user are, for people that are going to be that end up using your app. And if you don't place any kind of incentive, this is a pretty good incentive already. Like, get personalized financial insights. What you can possibly do is like maybe create just a quick little PDF that has like, download the five financial tips that we recommend to everybody under the age of 30.
And even if you're going to go with the strategy of the early access is the incentive, which I like Izzy's suggestion of creating something that helps the person solve their problem today with like a really quick one-page PDF about the access. But you can word that early adopters to be the first to get our exclusive advice, right? So be the first to get our unique advice. It sounds a little bit more like you care about their problem than just like asking them to be first.
Yeah, that's some great advice. Most definitely. So yeah, I mean, these sections need to be switched around. You need to bring up these sections, which are a lot more focused on the benefits for your own users. Get how to steps on tracking your expenses. These are real problems that people need solving. So you should most definitely call these out way higher up at the top, and then you can later sell them on the cool debit card, on these cool little features. Be among the first to test the a buggy app. I'm sorry to be so mean, but that's a reality. That's how people really look at new launches and at new at new potential solutions. So receive product updates. Yeah, this is all that good stuff. So make sure that they get like a free product update. Well, actually not a product update, but start sending out that like curated financial articles directly to the inbox. Want to know of a cool tool that I love called curated.co. Some of the big people that I love use this tool. This is not like Kickoff Labs. Kickoff Labs does viral email collection. This actually is just for collecting and sharing content. So you're actually curating that content. What I just visited curated.co. So that's a pretty cool tool you can most definitely use to just keep your email list engaged actually during and after your Kickoff Labs campaign, which is something that we highly recommend. I mean, obviously you're not going to do email collection and just leave your email list out in the cold until 6 months later till you launch and then tell them like, hey, come and try out this app. The key is keeping them engaged. Okay. So let's go ahead and move on to the thank you page. I believe there should be secure my spot. Okay, so this CTA is tied in with the sign up for exclusive. Just in case you do change the incentive, this CTA button text would also need to change. Alrighty, so I get sent to the thank you page where it's just a basic thank you for signing up. Thank you for signing up for early access. Okay, you're in the waitlist group 3. This just feels a little bit weird, like the grammar feels a little bit weird, like these two fours feel weird. You're in or on the waitlist. How would you phrase that, Josh? I might say like on the waitlist, right? He's muted, but
I like the phrasing as on.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, I just might change it. And group 3, like it's kind of confusing, but then I guess you kind of clear things up when you're telling people want to get bumped up to group 1. Okay.
Other people have done this. Other people have done this strategy, and what they've been done as to be more specific to the person is saying, I should go back.
I'm actually sharing my page.
Yeah, just make sure you share your page.
Yeah.
Other people, what they've said to be more specific is you're in. They'll just give a date. Like, we'll give you access. By December, access in October. Get bumped to group 1. Right, and so they can be a little bit more specific because group 3, group 1, people might not know what that means. But if you give a specific date, it can be more meaningful.
Yeah, that's most definitely true. So yeah, I mean, so you might want to consider just making this a little bit clearer, so it's not so confusing. Once people arrive on this page, they're like, oh, what's going on? And okay, so looking at the waitlist number, I see what number I am and how many friends I've referred, but I don't know how many friends I need to refer. Okay, get friends to sign up. Get 3 friends to sign up and you're in. I would probably be a little bit more clear, like get 3 friends, or get 3 friends to sign up, and you've gotten your access, or like, and you've earned your access to the mobile app, or and you've earned your access to the beta. That might work. I don't know. Just in case you want to change that. But everything else looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and test that Facebook share. But let me make sure it's working. Yeah, it should work. I should be sharing my entire screen. So we'll click to share on Facebook, and it's a very, very basic share. It's like, be the first. Okay, I don't know really what I'm signing up for, and the actual company name is in the description. And to be very honest with you, a lot of people aren't going to read the description if the headline isn't enticing enough. So I am seeing like, sign up for early access to Varro's intelligent mobile banking beta app. So once you refine a little bit the headline on the sign up page, repeat it here. If it's too long, repeat it in the description section, and just make sure that it's a really enticing headline, a brief like a brief description that's telling people what the main incentive to sign up, and you most definitely need to include an image here. So yeah, so this needs to be optimized. Let's go ahead and in that checklist that I'm going to share a little bit later, it is going to tell you all those steps to do that. So we're checking this out. So check this out. Sign up. I might do like, sign up for Varro Money, your money in one intuitive app. This is super general. Like, this is like, this is like those headlines that say save time and money. Like, I could say that about almost any company. Your money in one intuitive app. I could say that about a whole bunch of apps, just about any financial app. And there's a lot of fintech companies coming out nowadays. So how are you different? Your insights, your personalized insights, all that great, cool, unique, user-focused stuff, that's what needs to go here. So be a lot more specific. That's going to get you way better results. And use those different hashtags like we mentioned a little bit earlier. So yeah, I mean, other than that, page looks good, and we can probably move on to the next one. Josh, want to go ahead and move on to Up and Up?
Yeah, I'll move on to Up and Up here. So Up and Up was in the chat, and they posted. And so the first thing I thought when I saw this page was, I don't know what I would do next. So it's the same problem as what I saw before. Like, there's just missing a call to action somewhere, and you can't assume I'm going to scroll without a reason to scroll. And so that really involves moving some of this stuff up, or moving the call to action up higher. So,
oh, sorry, I thought it was muted.
So so a couple things. So as I'm going down the page, like, this is a fine tagline where upcoming talent gets discovered. So I think you've got a tagline covered. Coming in January tells me there's nothing else to do on this page. So just get rid of it. You're not being dishonest to get rid of it. You can say it lower on the page. But then these 1, 2, 3, showcase your strengths, land more job interviews, launch your career. I wish this was a sentence below the tagline, like, where upcoming talent gets discovered. Sign up now. So again, a call to action. So CTA right here. Sign up now in order to showcase your strengths, land more job interviews, and launch your career. Then you can say, you can have this form. So this form would be up here in my revised version of the page. And then below the form, you can put this incentive, like, everyone who signs up will have a chance to get premium for free. And then you've got the video that talks about the contest incentives. And so I like, you've got all the pieces here. Like, all the pieces are here for a great page. There's incentives, there's a tagline, there's the makings of a call to action. You just have to put it together in a slightly different order to have it, I think, really be fantastic. So let me then go about this and say, sign up, and see what happens next. Okay, I get taken to my thank you page. And so this is where I wish our designer was on the line today. There's just something odd about the bluish background here, and then this green color and the way it meshes. I wish it was cleaner. I wish it was white kind of blur over it that fit better with the image, or just think about a different overlay color for this background image. And you can do that. And if you have problems with that at Kickoff Labs, we can help you figure that out. Thanks for signing up. Now invite friends for a chance to go premium for free. I always like saying, like, let's try switching this out now. So try saying go premium for free by inviting friends. And just consider switching the order there. And then you have the benefits of premium. membership. And again, you like this 1, 2, 3 thing. I think people can read sentences, so I'm always a big fan of premium members enjoy 50% off, 2-time more resume upload, self-awareness reports. I'm a big fan of just putting that in a sentence, and then it squeezes this page a little bit smaller. So instead of this height, you'll end up with this height, and this stuff will get dragged up higher on the page where people can really see the incentives, the premium membership and a Visa gift card for the first top 3 referrals. This is great incentives, and I wish it was slid up a little bit more, or you mentioned it on the page. That's my feedback on this page. We've got a few more people there in the chat, and so I want to quickly switch over to Izzy to make sure we get to the rest of the pages that have been brought up in the chat. So Izzy, you want to switch on to the next one?
Sure. So we're moving on to myjoist.com. Dang, what's up with these really good domains? Like short, really good. That's really good. Great job, guys. Okay, so we're looking at Joist. A big logo at the top. We streamline your life. You take time to enjoy it. Don't know what it is. How are you going to streamline my life? Like, what exactly are you going to do? There's a lot of products and services that claim, to streamline, but you have to be a lot more specific. Okay, you take the time to enjoy it. Everybody wants this.
My washer and dryer said it was going to streamline my life.
Did it, Josh?
Kind of, but it's generic.
There you go. Exactly. So you have to be a lot more specific. Okay. So Joist helps you research and complete your most time-consuming personal projects. Okay. How? How is it doing it? What kind of tools are you providing me to actually research and complete, from school and vacation plans to home design, meals? Wow, you guys are going broad. So that's really broad, but you have to be really specific. Even though you're going broad as a product, you have to be specific as to what your product does and what the main benefit of it is. Let's see if we can read into a little bit more. We help you get things done right and in less time. Still super vague, still don't know what it is. There's a ton of services. If you Google get things done right, less time, boom, millions of results are going to pop up. How are you going to differentiate yourself? How is Google going to make sure that you pop up for what people are searching for? What kind of things are you specifically solving, and how? Sign up now for early access to our content and services. Okay, I would be a lot more specific. So people want to know, what are they getting immediately, and give them something immediately. So if you do provide some kind of content, give them something now. Give them those 5 free tips. Give them that PDF, that ebook, that white paper, that study, that curated content. It doesn't have to be necessarily generated by you. I mean, coming up with content and generating brand new content takes a hell of a long time. I mean, it does. It takes a long time. We try to do it. We do it. It takes a long time, but you can recycle content, and that's a lot of things that we do too. We recycle our own customers' content. We recycle our own past content, and that's really what you should be doing too. So don't think that it needs to be a lot of hard work, but you need to put a little bit more sweat equity and a little bit more effort into actually coming up with some kind of good incentive to sign up. So let's go ahead and sign up for the MyJoist. Okay, so it's just a basic thanks for signing up. Invite your friends to join too. I'm not sure why I would actually do that. I would actually reword it. Okay, so first off, the sign up page and all that needs to be clear. You need to provide some kind of incentive. And after that, I would reword this. Instead of inviting your friends to join too, invite my friends just so, I don't know, I can't write the copy off the top of my head, but just mentioning that my friends want to save time too. I should help my friends save time. I should help my friends streamline their life as well. So yeah, this needs to be edited. Since this page looks as if it's embedded, you need to actually jump into your campaign. There's something called, from the campaign dropdown, there's something called campaign settings, and you can update that, because since you're embedding your page, you will want to make sure that people share the correct page. So you can actually do that. And in that checklist that I'm going to be sharing in a few minutes, that is going to come. So stick around. I don't want to, I hate teasing. I really hate teasing, and we're not trying to sell anything, but give me a couple minutes once Josh is actually reviewing, and I'll share that checklist with you guys. But yeah, this needs to improve a little bit more. And just in case you do decide to include some kind of downloadable incentive, consider placing it on the page. Consider placing it here directly on the page using one of our different thank you pages. And once you make those changes also to your campaign, make sure that you make the adjacent changes to your Facebook share, Twitter share, all those stuff. So make sure it's all optimized. Alrighty, Josh, want to go ahead and move on to Tinkerlink?
Tinkerlink, or I've got EcoBox here. They're both in the chat, so I'm going to do EcoBox first.
Right.
So EcoBox, the first thing is that I didn't actually see the logo or the name other than the website. And so there is, yeah, I wish the logo stood out a little bit more. It's hard to see on the page. It's not obvious. This statement is easy to read, the future of gift giving. Well, what is the future of gift giving? And you say EcoBox uses, I wish the logo was just a little bit bigger. It's just a small thing. EcoBox uses advanced AI to match you or your recipients with the perfect gift like magic. Okay. Get early access. Again, I wish there was an incentive. I actually wish this button was pink to begin with. It would just really stand out instead of the hover being pink. Like, it's hard to tell what the call to action is on this page if you stood 10 feet away from the page just by seeing it like this. But if it was bright pink right in the beginning and then just got an even brighter pink when you hovered over it, I think that would be a stronger signal. I also wish there was, I know you're trying to keep it clean, I wish there was an incentive besides get early access. We've covered that today, why it's important. Early access is not necessarily enticing. Let's scroll down and see what else is here before we sign up. What if you have all the answers but need the right gift? AI plus gifting equals smart gifting. EcoBox intelligent experience that helps you pick one-of-a-kind gift for you. I kind of wish this line helps you pick a one-of-a-kind gift for you was up higher on the page because it's hard to explain people this this concept. And so perfect gift never comes so easy. Answer a few questions, set a price point, open your EcoBox when it arrives, and then get early access. You've got the repeat call to action down here, which is fine to have the repeat call to action at the bottom of the page. I kind of like that. But let's see what happens if I click here. Okay, it just takes me down to the bottom. So let's see what happens when I sign up. And I'll reserve my spot. All right, now here the logo is easy to see. I think for consistency's sake, I would make this background the star one, so make it the same as on the first page, the background here. That way it's more consistent. This blue I would change to the pink just to make the brand consistent colors. You can change that color just to pull things out and make it feel a little bit more consistent for the people that are on the page. And so what am I getting on the wait list? Yeah, so share with your friends to earn credits towards your first EcoBox. So that could be as part of your sign up piece. That you could have, reserve your spot below and for a chance to get a free box. Like I think you could tie that into the incentive because you're giving a good incentive here for people to sign up and you're just not making it clear on the first page. The domain, if people can't see, is a kickoff pages domain. You can actually have that be thanks.ecobox.com. So that could be, and it adds a lot more trust to it rather than using our domain. So it could be that domain, and we can help you set that up if you have problems setting that up for your site. Izzy, do you want to go into Braunston?
Sure. And how to set up that is in that campaign checklist, which I just shared in the chat. So just in case you guys want to take a look at that. Alrighty, so we're looking at Braunston.com, another cool domain. So I was hovering around the top, so we got this bounce exit intent. This is a Kickoff Labs tool. So that it popped up because I was just somewhat simulating leaving the page. So it says, we want you to know hesitant. Know what? Okay. Hesitant, not sure about what, just in case I didn't have time to actually read what's on the page. We understand the feeling. You will be glad that you took a look. Like I like the fact that you're adding some personality to this text here, but if someone was looking at it cold and they didn't have a chance to actually read the headline that like Braunston is coming, everything a man, because I can kind of read it, behind there. If there is if there might be some additional text behind there, I can't read it, but this is like unclear. Like this has no connect to what's going on behind the page. So yes, it's cool to have that personality, but make sure that you're in a way somewhat like repeating your incentive and the main benefit right here on your exit intent. Obviously you're going to be rewording it just a little bit, but yeah, just make sure that it's just kept a little bit more consistent. And gain access, not sure if it's the same call to action you're using on your button, but it should also be the same call to actions. And gain access is not a great call to action right now, but let's see if we can figure something out better. So the image in the background looks good. It's a stock image, so obviously you don't want to launch with this. I mean, launch with the official one. Bronson is coming, everything a man wants and buys, finally all in one play. How do you know? like be a lot more specific. I mean, how do you know what everything like everything a man wants and buys? Like men are very different. Men have different tastes, and it's not good if you're going too broad. Like segment down, target down. You'll get a lot higher conversion rate. You'll get a lot more excited people about your launch. You'll be building your own community as opposed to just this just generalized like everything store. You don't want to be a Walmart. I mean, come on now. Like you want to be, I mean, unless you do, but it's really hard. But you want to be a lot more specific. Like take a look at some of Kickoff Labs' past customers. Take a look at Chubbies.com. Take a look at like Diamond Candles. Some of those, like those are brands with personality that are really segmenting, and they know exactly who their customer is. So put the image of exactly who your customer is and tell them like you're a man who wants this. You're a man who buys this. Finally, you can find it here. You know, I mean, tell them exactly what it is. And another thing that I don't like is the call to action is super buried. I know what you're doing. Like you want the image to be shown. You're like, oh, I want this guy to be, you know, to be perfectly shown. But as Josh mentioned, the image is going to be scaling on different devices. See how it scales a little bit? Actually, this one looks like you have it somewhat, like looks like everything is mostly centered. So don't worry about too much. I mean, what I would do is kind of like create a fade over the image, which you could do with this template, and don't bury your call to action because, you know, otherwise you get people arriving on this page, there's nothing for them to do, and they'll leave immediately. Unless that exit intent pops up, then they'll be confused, and then they'll most definitely leave. So bring up your call to action to the top. Be the first to know. Looks like our standard one. This one needs to change, so you need to provide some kind of real incentive. If you're a clothing shop, offer a 50% off, offer 30% off, 25% off. You can even do it like reward levels. After 3 friends, you get 30% off. After 5 friends, you get 50% off. So do it like that. There's a lot of things that you can do with Kickoff Labs. The step inside also needs to change. So let's quickly sign up. So yeah, you need to make some improvements on this page. Sorry to be so mean, but you know, obviously I want you guys, you know, your launches and your products to perform, so we can later put you guys on our showcase page. So here are the products that you guys are probably going to be selling. I mean, even though it's an iStock, you probably like had an eye for this image. You're like, okay, yeah, these look like products that we're going to be, you know, managing in our inventory. So be specific. You know, what kind of men wear these products? Place an image of them there. This logo feels a little bit weird, like the gray box logo. It just feels weird. I would reverse the color where the Bronson is gray and the rest is white, you know, just transparent. And great, you're on the wait list. There's no real reason to be on the wait list. Like this is kind of confusing to me. I would recommend using the reward levels, how I mentioned, where you can get people to refer 3 friends and you'll get 10% off. I mean, you can dictate whatever you want. What you think a customer is worth to you, whatever their value is, that you can kind of roughly deduce. Like you could calculate what kind of discounts you could be offering after 3 friends invited, after 5 friends referred, and so on. So yeah, that's what I would do for this campaign. So let's go ahead and move on to TinkleLink. Josh?
Yep. So TinkleLink, we don't have too much more time, so if anybody wants to stick around, we can go over this stuff. It's a really clean looking page with a nice image on top, brand logo. But then there's a call to action without a call to action. So I like that the call to action's up higher. They've been listening to the last few people, but you're missing like what it is. Like, so you're asking for this call to action saying step inside, and I have no idea what it is. And I know they're borrowing from the Harry's Razor campaign, but there was a picture of a razor. There was text that said like, you know, affordable razors or something. And then they asked people to put in their email address. You're just giving a brand and saying step inside. And so you're absolutely missing a chance to what's going on. And then the first does nobody any good. Like this needs to be up here and it needs to say what it is. And so what is it? Launching unique locket cases and dreamy charms, right? So this right here, unique locket cases and dreamy charms, that is your headline right there, right? And then everything else maybe could be below the form, but I would focus on explaining this a lot more what it is, because otherwise I have no idea. Again, days away from launching, not important, nobody cares. They don't trust that you will launch in days anyway. Be the first to know and find out you can reap rewards. Again, this needs to be like near the call to action. Like why? Be the first to know is a terrible reward. We've talked about that. Find out how you can reap rewards or get a free case or something like that. Find out how you could earn a free case, something more direct and clear. Because I'm betting once I sign up, there's a chance for me to earn a free case. So let me see. Once I sign up, is there a chance for me to earn a free case? Free case, free case. All right, so thanks for signing up. Spread the word. Again, like putting in your brand, like spread the word about our cool cases, or don't let your friends behind, don't let your friends have uncool phone cases, like something like that that speaks to your brand. And then let's see, 3 signups, 10% off. And yes, if we get enough people, I get a free case. Mention this, like this is really great incentive. Don't bury it. Put it on the first page. Put it on the headline as to why they should get their friends up here to share the page. Like be really clear about it. And I think if you're really clear about it, you'll have better results. I'm gonna go really quickly. I think there was the folks from Pick My Brain were here. I'm gonna go through their page really quickly.
I like their incentive. Like, can I interest you in? Pretty cool.
Oh, can I show you a 1-hour session designed to help you get unstuck? If so, book Pick My Brain session today. Yeah, that's a really cool incentive right here. This is the exit intent window that pops up when you try and leave the page. It's pretty well done. Exit intent with a strong call to action, like book your appointment. Before you go, book your appointment. Before you go, get a 1-hour session. Yes, you can pick my brain. Like I like that. And let's see what the rest of the page is without that. So Legacy Creative presents Pick My Brain. It's time to get unstuck. Book your appointment today. See, this is not as clear, right? Before you're saying like an appointment on that exit intent, you're saying like a 1-hour appointment. I don't even know what this appointment is for at this point. And so I wish, it's time to get unstuck. I wish there was a little bit more information about what I'm booking an appointment for, right? And I think you just need to take some of this stuff, like discover your message, determine your needs, define your next steps, like pick my brain. It's time to get unstuck and figure out your next steps by meeting with one of our professionals or by getting an appointment today. Like I think you just need a little bit more information to get people to click this book my appointment link here. And I go to book my appointment, it takes me to a PayPal link. It's a pretty strong, it's pretty strong. And you're saying $75. It doesn't it's not clear that I was clicking to pay for anything there. And I think you're gonna lose a lot of people right at this step because you haven't sold them on much. And you're just saying like right away, like sign me up. Now imagine if this was an email capture, right? And it said, time to get unstuck, meet with us for an hour for a discounted rate or something like that. And then you had an email address saying like, for a chance to get an appointment or for a chance at a free appointment, enter your email address. Like something where you capture the email as part of this booking an appointment step. Because right now, if I leave, like I click this and it gets to that PayPal link and I leave, you get no information from me because I got turned off by the fact I had to pay and you're not going to get anything. But if I'm here and I was interested enough to click the link, I'd be interested enough to put my email address in, right? So if you had a better call to action that was first starting with building a relationship and an email address, like enter your email address and get free tips on how to get unstuck, right? And you would get a lot more people. And then via email, you can follow up and maybe get them convinced that they should buy something from you. That's my 2 cents on the page here. Is just picture where people are going to get stuck and did you get anything out of them being stuck, right? And you can still, after you click the email, redirect them to a payment page. I'm betting most people still aren't going to fill it in, but at least you'll get the email address out of them. So Izzy, was there anybody else we missed really quickly, or did we capture the rest of the pages that were here?
No, actually, that was it. But actually, let me go ahead and sign up because I'm kind of curious if they do have that thank you page that says, "Can I interest you in the session?" Or I book your appointment, because it should lead to already. So it just leads to like a thanks for signing up. Next steps, you'll receive a confirmation of your appointment via email. Yeah, this is good. Like this is really good. This is exactly what Josh was like talking about, starting to build that relationship. See how you're like starting to tell them the story. This is exactly the kind of steps that you should be doing. So, I mean, provide this kind of same information in the email follow-up and focus on email collection, especially on that, on that website. Looks good. Looks good. This looks really good.
Yep. All right. Izzy, you want to take us out, talk about the checklist and schedules?
Most definitely. Okay, so thank you very much for joining us. We're pretty much closing off now. But as if you guys did notice, I shared our latest campaign checklist. So as I mentioned, it's the same simple and proven checklist that we use here. You know, our internal team uses it to make sure that everybody's campaigns is ready to launch, is optimized. We actually talked a lot about it, you know, just to make sure that it was ready for you guys. So I do invite you to download that PDF. There's plenty of links involved too, but it's also like a printable PDF. So just in case you wanted to print it out and just go through the steps on your own, that's no problem. As far as schedules go, so next week we're actually going to be doing just like a basic getting started, just showing you guys around the interface, just in case you might have some problems, you know, figuring things out. In case you want to take full advantage of some tools that you might not know that existed, be sure to show up for that for the chat next week. It'll be at the same time, Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, and we'll keep you posted about any upcoming chats. So thanks a lot for joining us, and if you found this useful, be sure to share the sign up page, which is grow.kickofflabs/live with your friends, and I'll go and share them in chat immediately after. So thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks a lot, Josh, and have a great week.